They asked for help. The response came back 12 minutes later. Just one sentence. We warned you this would happen. The entire council froze. Warned? There was no official record of any warning. No diplomatic transmission. No emergency archive. So, when Earth's envoy arrived, the council demanded an explanation. The human representative was not a soldier, not an admiral, not a politician. She was an old woman in a dark gray uniform, carrying a small data core in one hand. She entered the chamber, looked around at the frightened faces of the galaxy's most powerful leaders, and said, "You rejected our application before you reached the classified section." Then she placed the data core on the table. What opened next changed everything. It was not a message. It was a record-ancient video. Satellite fragments, recovered transmissions, buried human military logs. The footage was over 1,000 years old. Long before humanity had left its solar system, long before faster-than-light travel, long before the Council even knew Earth existed, the first Davari attack had happened on Earth. The chamber went silent as the recordings played. Dark objects falling through the sky. Entire cities blacking out. Creatures moving through smoke and fire. Governments collapsing. Armies failing. Panic spreading across the planet. The Council watched, stunned, as ancient humanity faced the same enemy now destroying the stars. And then they saw something even more shocking. Humans fought back. Not with elegant plasma weapons. Not with quantum shields. Not with stellar fleets. With railguns. With missiles. With fire. With raw, brutal resistance. Every nation on Earth had been forced into the same war. For once in their history, humanity had not fought each other. They had fought together. The old woman's voice echoed through the chamber. As the footage continued, we did not defeat the Davari because we were stronger. Images of burning landscapes flashed across the screens. We defeated them because we were willing to lose everything they expected us to protect. Then came the final file. A Davari battlefield translation, recovered from a crashed object in Siberia. The alien text appeared on the council screen, followed by the human translation. This species is unfit for controlled extinction. They weaponize collapse. They continue combat beyond acceptable loss thresholds. Do not allow them to expand. No one in the chamber moved. The old woman looked at them all and spoke quietly. You called us unstable. She let the silence sit. They called us impossible. The truth hit the council all at once. Humanity had not been denied entry because they were weak. Humanity had been denied because the galaxy never finished reading what Earth had submitted. The classified section had been dismissed as myth. Too violent, too unbelievable. The galaxy had seen powerful civilizations before. Empires that built cities around stars. Species that crossed light years and hours. Fleets so advanced they could shatter moons and silence entire worlds. And yet, among all of them, there was one small blue planet they never took seriously. Earth. Humanity. To the Galactic Council, humans were primitive, emotional, divided, violent. In the official archives, humanity was marked with a single classification. Unstable. Too reckless to be trusted. Too aggressive to be empowered. Too immature to stand among the older races of the galaxy. So, when Earth first requested entry into the Galactic Alliance, the Council rejected them without hesitation. Their message was short. Humanity is not ready. Earth never responded. No threats. No demands. No outrage. Humanity simply went silent. And the galaxy mistook that silence for weakness. 7 years later, the first world burned. It happened on the outer edge of council space, in a wealthy system called Asteron. 3 colonies vanished in a single night. No warning. No distress calls. No survivors. When recovery teams arrived, they found only wreckage, drifting bodies, and orbital stations torn open like metal shells. At first, the council blamed pirates. Then extremists. Then a failed experiment. But when they sent a war fleet to investigate, the fleet disappeared too. Not damaged. Not defeated. Gone. That was when the name first appeared in the council's emergency channels. The Dravari. No one knew where they came from. No one knew what they wanted. And that was the most terrifying part. Because the Dravari did not negotiate. They did not occupy planets. They did not make demands. They erased. Their ships were black, silent, and wrong in ways no one could explain. Their hulls looked less like machinery and more like something grown in darkness. Their weapons passed through shields, as if they didn't exist. Their soldiers never retreated. Never panicked. Never surrendered. Within 4 months, 6 major civilizations were shattered. World after world fell. Fortress systems were torn apart. Ancient fleets were wiped out in minutes. The same powers that once mocked Earth now faced extinction. Inside the Galactic Council chamber, for the first time in its history, there was no strategy. No confidence. No pride. Only fear. Because everything they had built, every defense, every weapon, every alliance, had failed. And in that fear, someone brought up a name no one expected to hear. Humanity. At first, the chamber erupted in protest. Humans. The unstable species. The primitives we rejected. But desperation has a way of killing pride. So the council sent a message to Earth. Not as rulers. Not as judges, but as beggars. So the council had ignored the only species that had ever survived the Dr. Avari. One of the alien admirals. Finally found his voice. If you defeated them once, why didn't you tell us sooner? The woman turned to him, and for the first time, there was anger in her eyes. Because, when we tried, you laughed. No one answered. Because no one could. Then the council asked the question that mattered most. Can you stop them again? The old woman looked down at the data core. Then, back up. No. Panic rippled through the chamber. But before anyone could speak, she continued. Not alone. The room fell silent again. Humanity had survived the Dravari once. But at a cost so severe that they had buried the truth beneath centuries of secrecy. They had spent generations preparing for the enemy's return. Not by building the biggest fleet in the galaxy. Not by chasing perfection, but by designing war the way only humans could. Messy, layered, adaptive, cruel. Every asteroid belt near Earth had been seeded with hidden weapons. Every moon in the solar system had been turned into a defense node. Civilian freighters had secret military protocols. Mining stations concealed mass drivers powerful enough to split destroyers in half. Humanity had not built a shining empire. They had built a trap. And now, for the first time, they were willing to open it. The council agreed immediately. What followed became known as the Last Black War. The Dravari entered human space, expecting another easy extermination. Instead, they found emptiness. No grand fleets waiting for honor battles. No proud formations. No predictable defenses. Just silence. Then the traps activated. Asteroids changed course and smashed into invasion lanes. Cargo ships detonated at point-blank range. Dead satellites woke up and fired from impossible angles. Entire moons opened and launched hidden arsenals the size of cities. For the first time in recorded history, the Dravari retreated. But humanity didn't celebrate, because humans already understood something the rest of the galaxy did not. The Dravari were not soldiers. They were scouts. That revelation shattered what little hope the Council had left. Everything they had faced so far, every fleet, every massacre, every fallen world, that had only been the first wave, and humanity had known it all along. In the final War Council before the counterattack, the Council leaders asked Earth's commanders the same question over and over: how long do we have? The human answer never changed. Not enough. So the galaxy did something it had never done before. It followed humanity. Not because humans were the most advanced, not because they were the most powerful,